Alright, Assalamu alaikum. We're going to talk today about how you will always do your notes and your work on notebook paper when doing math from your textbook, Basic College Mathematics with Early Integers. Okay, I'm getting ready to show you the format, and please follow this format. Okay, so as you know, this book has different chapters in it, like here. It has different chapters, and each chapter has a lesson or a section in it. So chapter 1, lesson 1 is tips for success in mathematics. Or chapter 2, lesson 3 is adding integers, and that's 2.3. And that 2.3, hopefully you can see that. And the 2.3 there, it means chapter 2, lesson 3. Okay? Here, where it says, make sure that you can see, there we go. Here, where it says 3.4, that means chapter 3, lesson 4. Okay? So if it says 5.8, what does that mean? If it says 5.8, what chapter is that? What lesson is that? Very good. It is chapter 5 and lesson 8. Okay, so this is what I mean. We call that number the section number. So if I say your section number is 2.5, I mean chapter 2. Chapter 2, lesson 5. Okay? That is the section number. So you're going to see in a few minutes where I have written instructions on how we put our section numbers, and that's what I mean. So, we do the work for this book. Always on some notebook paper. And here's how we set up our notebook paper. Okay? We have our section number and then the lesson. So this is the section number. So this would be the part that tells you which chapter and which lesson inside of that chapter. And if it's the lesson, like where we're going over the examples, then you'll write lesson. Okay? You're always going to put the page number. You're going to put the your task label A. That just means like whatever it is. So if we're in a certain section and we're going through the lesson and we're doing example A or example 4, then that's what will go here. You would not write task label A. You would write example 4 or something like that, or example 5. And that's what I mean by here, an example. The example number. And then you would put the numbers. So if example 4 has 5 different sections to it, you put 1, do number 1, 2, do number 2, like that. Task label B. So if there was some practice, after each example, there's always some paired practice problems in the lesson. So you would put practice number, and then you would do the practice for that problem right there. You would write the problem number, circle it, and then do it. Okay? And you're going to do that all the way down. And if in the middle of the lesson the page changes, we're going to write that page number again. So see how we have a page number at the top and a page number at the bottom. Or the page number when the page number changes, right? And if the page number changed again, we do another page number here. This way our work will always be organized, and we'll always be able to tell what section of the book the notes are from. Okay? And then at the end of the lesson practices and the lesson examples, we always have the vocabulary and readiness check. And you're going to label that on your paper, vocabulary and readiness. Okay? And then, after we've gone through the lesson, you're ready to begin completing exercises. Oops, I forgot. This is the lesson page still. Okay? It's going to be the section number. It's going to say lesson. And, of course, it is going to have your name and date. You always want to put your name on your work. Always put your name on your work, and then the date. You'll put the month, the day, and then the year. Okay? So then, after we've gone over the lesson, it'll be time to do exercises. The format for our exercises is similar. Okay? So we always have the section number. That's the 3.8. That means we're in chapter 3, section 8. Or 9.4, which means we're in chapter 9, lesson 4. Whatever the section number is, you always have to put that section number on your paper. Always, always, always put the section number on your paper. You're going to put the section number, and when you're doing exercises, you're going to label the page exercises. You're going to put your name and date, okay, the month, the day, and the year. Then you're going to have the page number. And because in the exercises, the instructions change, you're going to write the instructions for the exercises. So if I tell you to do that first set of exercises, you're going to write the instructions for the exercises, and then you're going to put the problem number, you're going to do it. Problem number, do it. And we always circle our problem number so that it does not get tangled up inside of our math, okay? And then you would go to the next set of instructions for the exercises. Because in the exercises, the instructions change. The exercises over everything you've done in that lesson. So if there's 4 or 5 different skills or techniques taught in that lesson, the instructions are going to tell you to do something from each of those 4 or 5 different techniques or sets, okay? If you have a problem that has an A part, a B part, or a C part, you're just going to do the problem number and then an A with a dash, and then you're going to put the work for that. Problem number, you're not going to rewrite the problem number, you're just going to write section part B. When you get to the next part, a dash, you're going to do the work for that part. Same thing for part C. And then you go on. We do not skip lines. Notice, we're not skipping lines between the problems themselves. We only skip lines between the instructions, okay? When one set of instructions ends and the next set of instructions begin. And then down here again, the instructions ended. So we're rewriting, we're skipping a line, we're writing the set of instructions for the next exercise in this problem set, and then we're writing the problem number, circling it, and we're doing that problem, okay? And you want to create your page like this as you go. Do not try to set up the whole page ahead of time, because what happens if a problem spills over and takes up more than half a line? What if a problem takes up 2 lines? Okay? So this is just an example for you to follow, but don't sit down, see your homework set, write this up, and then be like, oh man, I didn't have anywhere to put number 10. Do it as you go, okay?